Oh, look at that. This recipe, not that hard. You're gonna like it. Just double checking to make sure I have everything I need here. I've had some requests recently in fact, not recently, I've had requests for years for people asking me to please put forth a red chili recipe that does not have bourbon in it or liquor. Okay, and so I decided to do that. Recently I had some interaction with one of my viewers, and I decided I'm going to go ahead and do this. So I have developed today a new recipe for red chili, guaranteed delicious. I know my flavors, folks, and I know how to make chili, and this one, it's a winner. We have all the right flavors in all the right amount. This recipe, you're going to get that full, woody, beefy flavor in a really, really hearty chili. And before anybody starts in on this about, hey, chili con carne doesn't have tomato paste in it. Well, guess what? This isn't chili con carne. This is red chili. And yeah, red chili does have it. All right, now, if you want chili con carne, I've got that recipe. Just go to my recipes, okay? Let's get on with this. This is red chili, and these are the ingredients. Come on over. The ingredients I have here for red chili today starts right here, folks. Beef. You need a good chunk of beef. Today we're using chuck. And also, you're going to be needing fresh veggies. Man, I tell you what, good chili is about beef, fresh vegetables, the right spices and flavors, and it is incredible. We have here, these are poblanos. They're a big old chili. They're meaty, and they have a delicious flavor to them. You can substitute a bell pepper, but frankly, the poblano, if you can get them, is really the best choice. Over here, we've got some jalapenos. These are smallish, but they will still do the job just fine. Got some onions and garlic. Over here we got some lime juice. This is, believe it or not, liquid smoke and tomato paste. And on those spices that we're using today, we're using cumin. I have some cayenne and also some paprika. And this, folks, this is the combination that makes for some really good chili. Went ahead and took that 3 pounds of chuck. We trimmed a little bit of the fat off of it, maybe a quarter of a pound at most. And then ground the rest, and I've got this beautiful, subtle, gentle grind. This is the benefit of doing your own grind, and you should try it if you haven't ever done it before. These grinders do not cost much at all, and they give you the best results. So right there is what we're going to use. I need to cut up my vegetables next, and then we get on with making some delicious chili. I'm about to get busy cutting up and dicing everything. I'm going to fine dice my jalapenos after I remove the stem and core it. Okay, just use a spoon to core it out. These I'm going to go ahead and char the skin on them. I want to use my gas grill, and once the skin is black, I'm going to pull all of that off, and then we'll dice these up as well. I will also be removing the crown and seeds on the inside when I cut all of these. All right, so that's all there is to it. Process your chilies that way. We dice out the onions, and we're going to fine mince the garlic, and then we get into cooking this wonderful dish. So I've done all of my prep work. All right, I have my ground meat here. I have removed the skin and diced the poblanos. I have diced up those onions. I've diced up the jalapenos and minced the garlic. Everything is measured out on this stuff. Everything's ready to cook. This is, well, there's two terms that come to mind. They're both French terms when you're dealing with doing something like this. And the first one is mise en place. This is our mise en place. We have everything in its place. That's a French term. And it is done through the skills of garde-manger. Garde-manger work is the cold prep work, the dicing, slicing, peeling, and all of that you see here. So through those two techniques, we end up with this. We do that on purpose. I don't want this over here cooking, burning, or whatever, or have to turn off the flame to it while I'm still trying to mince this or dice these or measure that or whatever. Don't do that. Get it prepped, then cook, okay? So we have everything ready to go here. I'm gonna break out my pot. It's gonna be a big one. We're gonna cook this meat with the jalapeno and the onions, and I wanna cook those together before we move on to adding anything else, all right? That's all there is to this. I have my meat and onions and the jalapenos right here. Now I don't have the poblanos in there yet. Those will come later on. These, I need to get this cooked down so that these onions are no longer white looking like that. I want them to be somewhat translucent, and when they are and that meat is fully grayed throughout, then we're going to get on with adding the other ingredients. Until then, we do this. All right. Now, presently, I have this over a high heat, and I'm going to keep it over a high heat until I get the condition I want. And in a couple of minutes here, I'm going to cover it and let it cook covered. I have opened this up, and this has been about maybe 15 to 20 minutes in the cooking. Look at our onions now. They've changed dramatically. They've got that translucent look that I'm wanting right there. Okay, so this is ready for the next step. And what I do next is I'll put in the tomato paste and I'll work it throughout, and then I'll use some beef broth to thin it down to the consistency I want. And after that, I'll put in the rest of the ingredients, stir them in, and let this simmer. You're going to want at least an hour to 2 hours of good simmer time. The longer you simmer this chili, the smoother and milder it gets, okay? So give it that, and you will have a very, very good product. I've just finished putting all of the ingredients in there. Started with that tomato paste, worked it throughout the meat. Then I added beef broth to thin it to the consistency that I was wanting, which is what you're seeing here. This is actually a little thinner than what I'm wanting, but some of that is going to cook out. The next thing I did after getting that beef broth in there, we added the spices, got those worked in, and then finished up by putting in the poblano and also that liquid smoke and the lime juice. And I'll say this, the lime juice, while it doesn't sound important, it really is. What it's going to do is it's going to lift this dish and pull these flavors right to the surface. Those chili flavors are going to pop. And they're going to pop because we added that lime, and it keeps this dish from being flat that way. It really does make a difference. You don't really taste it. However, what it does to the dish is remarkable. Okay, this is needing to come to a simmer, and then we will allow it to simmer covered for an hour to 2 hours. Remember, the longer you cook this dish, the smoother and mellower it gets, so it's a good thing to do. Once it's finished, consider what you want to put on it. Do you want some sour cream, cheese, chopped onions, whatever? Hey, fix your chili the way you like your chili. But remember, it needs something. So you got to add a little bit of topping to it to give it that garnish. I turned off the burner just a moment ago. Now when you're finished cooking this, and during simmering, you'll see an oil float to the surface on that. You can remove it if you want, or you can just stir it back down into it. Either way, it's not going to hurt anything. That's just the fat from the beef combined with some oils that are released from the tomatoes, and that's all that is. So there is our chili. It's beautiful. I've tasted it. The flavor balance is fantastic on this. I had to adjust my salt just a little bit. I added an extra half teaspoon, and now it is fantastic. So here we have a chili that's worth enjoying, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. The quantity of everything that I have used today started right back here with this. It was the beef. We had 3 pounds of beef chuck. Maybe a little less after I trimmed out some of that fat, but still, we start with 3 pounds. The tomato paste, on that we're starting with 12 ounces. And on that liquid smoke and the lime juice, those are both 1/4 cup each. Now 6 cloves of garlic, 2 medium onions, which is, if I remember right, about 1.5 pounds roughly. And it's the same way on these. You're going to want about 1.5 pounds of these poblanos and 1/2 pound on the jalapenos. And with those 6 cloves of garlic, you're also going to be using 1/4 cup of paprika, a tablespoon of the cayenne. And folks, remember that cayenne, you don't have to have it in there. If you've got acid reflux or anything, take this out. It is fiery hot, okay? And then your cumin, 1 tablespoon of cumin, and it gives it that beautiful, earthy, dry flavor that is so associated with good quality chili. Folks, that's it right there. Beautiful ingredients. Let's take a look at this finished product. I have my chili bowled up here, and I thought maybe some green onions and a little bit of cheese would be good on that, but I'm also going to be doing a streak of sour cream. There's a lot of things that you can do with your chili. Consider these, and you might want to try one or two of them. Otherwise, you have a fantastic bowl of chili right there. Oh, this is good. This is like really good. Nothing better than a really good bowl of chili. It just is satisfying. It's hearty. Fills you up on those cold days. And folks, it is very, very nutritious. You saw what went in this. There's a lot of good food there. It's a great recipe, and you're going to enjoy it when you taste it. Thank you for watching it. If you would, please take a look right underneath that description box. It's going to tell you why there's 2 different videos for every recipe. It's also going to give you the links for my website where I sell the recipes, and you're going to get a link to Texas Cooking Today where you can watch any of my tutorials. If you would, please take a look at that. I'd appreciate it. And folks, please have a good day. Bye-bye. I wanted to speak to you for just a moment about my recipes. Now, I put out my recipes, okay? They're on my website. Now, I don't put out your average everyday recipe. You know, I had somebody comment to me recently. He said, why would I do that when they're available everywhere for free? There's a little difference. Those that are for free, and I've printed them out, you have too, little tiny thing in the corner of the piece of paper that's covered with ads most of the time, and then it's not very descriptive. Not mine. Mine are worth having. Okay, so when you get one of mine, it's designed to be printed in such a way that it can be put into like a 3-ring binder. Look at this. Look at the quality on it. Look at how clear this is. The imagery is beautiful. So they can be printed, and this is the way I've designed mine, is so that it can be printed back to back. And then you end up with, you know, a complete recipe that works in a book. And it comes out absolutely beautiful. Pictures that depict everything that you need to do in the recipe. Now, not all of them are exactly that way, but a lot of them are, and I'm getting more and more done this way. And I'm putting a hard push towards good quality recipes that give better instructions than everybody else's. And that's the reason I do them this way. These are designed to have holes punched in them. Let me pull this up and do this with it. Look, 3-ring binder, boom, punch holes in it, you have it right there. Everything's all available for you, okay? So, pardon me, I didn't mean to hit the mic. Anyway, really cool idea. Great way to do your recipes. Instead of having to buy a book of 50 recipes to get 10, you just pay for the 10 recipes, save a whole lot of money, and you got a better idea for how to keep your recipes. Thanks for watching. Please enjoy what I provide. Check out Texas Cooking Today. There's a lot, I mean a lot of recipes there. And if you would, take a look in the description box down underneath me here, and you'll find the links to my website, to Texas Cooking Today, to the stuff that I do, and how to keep up with me and to find out a little bit more. Thank you very much. You have a good day.